In Diablo 2, while it tells you the basics, there's a lot of information obscured. The Amazon is no exception. Today we're going to cover 7 hidden features or less than obvious functions of Amazon skills. Number 0. Yeah, we gotta get this one out of the way and not even count it against the quota because we mentioned it in the Paladin video, but Penetrate and Blessed Aim do not work together. So if you end up using Blessed Aim Mercenary, don't bother putting more than 1 point into Penetrate, or actually none if you're going for a Pierceless build, which is super uncommon. But that out of the way, it's time for number 1. Sticking with the passive tree, let's drop in on Critical Strike. To keep it short and sweet, let's just say Critical Strike doubles the damage when triggered, but it applies before the damage conversion. So yes, it's still useful on skills like Magic Arrow, Lightning Bolt, etc. for increasing the non-physical damage they do. Number 2. Pierce is a wonderful skill as we all know, and can pierce up to 4 times. Just remember, the attack has to hit the target for it to pierce. It may display additional hits and pierces, but you'll notice that they do 0 damage and have no effect after the first target if you actually fail to hit that target. Despite the explosion still happening on screen, you'll notice that enemies don't get frozen or they don't get hit by the extra damage. Number 3. Sticking to the passive tree, let's talk about Avoid, Evade, and Dodge. The more common knowledge on these is that the annoying knowledge that they can interrupt otherwise uninterruptible actions, making them mildly irritating at times. The lesser known feature of these, though, is that the animation actually can get sped up with fanaticism of all things, and can be slowed down by Holy Freezer Slow, but weirdly is unaffected by Decrepify. Number 4. Last of the passive tree, or at least in this video, we have the Valkyrie with all of its weird stuff, ranging from basically getting the functionality of most of your passive skills, getting a passive bonus of 2% for each of the main 4 resists, and a pinch of life for each point in decoy, and a variable equipment pool based on the soft level of the Valkyrie, having an item in every slot at level 14, and having its top tier rare items in every slot at level 27, with eye level 99 affixes reached at skill level 26. It's worth noting the Valkyrie's base resist cap out at 85%, but the rare items can push her immunity if they provide at least 15% resist to a specific element. Number 5. Time to dip into the actual weapons, so we'll start with the only one that affects both the bow tree and the javelin tree, and that is how attack rating on the Amazon is completely broken. Most of the Amazon elemental skills that say they give attack rating don't actually give you any attack rating. This includes Plague Javelin, Power Strike, Magic Arrow, Fire Arrow, Exploding Arrow, Immolation Arrow, Cold Arrow, Ice Arrow, and Freezing Arrow. Yes, that's a long list. Other sources of attack rating still work, just not the attack rating provided by these skills. Number 6. Strafe has a few oddities about it, and will work from the most apparent down. The maximum arrow limit counts up wrong. It's still limited to 10, but it hits that at level 7 Strafe. The skill has a minimum arrow limit as well, capping out at 10 too, but you generally won't reach that amount with a normal Strafe build since it doesn't happen until skill level 32. Strafe also has a next delay on damage, meaning it can only deal damage to a single target so many times per second. That said, at least each volley, whether 3 arrows or 10, only uses 1 arrow from your quiver. Number 7. Last up, we have something a bit more common as a palate cleanser for the next video, Multishot. Something a lot of veterans know, but we often forget to tell new players, is sure, it launches a bunch of arrows, but only the middle 2 arrows actually get most of the attack effects, like Crushing Blow, Blind, Chance to Cast, etc. And also that it caps out at 24 arrows. And for the Amazon bonus fact, we'll go for a little bit of a did you know? Since Guided Arrow has a longer missile life, it can actually travel further than other arrows, twice as long as a normal one and over 3 times as long as most other special arrows. As always, brag below if you know everything, or knew everything, or if I missed something you thought should be included, mention it as well. And with the Amazon, I know there's a few minor ones left to show off. These were just my favorites. And as always, drop a like if you learned something new from this.